Good morning, all of you. I am Kiran Pachlasia, Assistant Professor at Sagar Institute of Bangalore. Today, we are going to discuss on operator precedence parser, which is the topic of compiler designing. So, when we talking about precedence means which have highest priority. Operator precedence grammar says that a grammar that satisfies the following two conditions is known as operator precedence grammar. First condition, there exists no production rule which contains epsilon on its right. The second condition is there exists no production rule which contains two non-terminal adjacent to each other in its RHS. Operator precedence grammar represent a small class of grammar, but it is important class because it is widespread applications. In the given first example, see when a variable drives three continuously variable means which do not have an terminal in between them. So this is not an operator precedence grammar. So we can convert this grammar into operator precedence grammar with the help of the next production and its terminals. See how we can convert it. When E produces EA capital E, then we can put E produces E plus E because A produces plus. Now this is operator precedence grammar because two variables are separated with a terminal. Similarly, EAE also separated by E minus E because A also derived as minus symbol. EAE also separated with asterisk or multiplication signature, divide symbol, power symbol. On the next production, when E produces open braces, E and close braces, there is no issue with this production because there is no two terminal continuously side by side. Operator precedence parser, a parser that reads and understood an operator precedence grammar is called operator precedence parser. In operator precedence parser, firstly, we define precedence relation between every pair of terminal symbol. Means where there is two variables, we have to create a connection and connection is created with a terminal. Secondly, we construct an operator precedence table. Third, the precedent relation are defined using following rule. Now, how we are defining the precedence and how a relation created between the variables. So rule 1 is if precedence of B is higher than a precedence of A, then we define A is less than B. If second, if precedence of B is same as precedence of A, then we define A is equal to B. And third one, if precedence B is lower than the precedence of A, then we define the relation A is greater than the relation of B. Rule number 2, an identifier is always given the higher precedence than any other symbol. Identifier, we can write identifier ID as a short form. Dollar symbol is always given the lowest precedence. Rule number 3, the two operators have the same precedence. Then we go by checking their associativity. When a string given to us, we have to follow the following steps for checking their precedence. Step number 1, insert the following symbol, dollar symbol at the beginning and the end of the input string, because dollar symbol shows that the any string is starting and string is executed properly. When two dollar symbols are continuously side by side, then we can say that the string is accepted. Precedence operator between every two symbol of the string by referring the operator precedence table. Step number 2, start scanning the string from LHS in the forward direction until greater than symbol is encountered. Keep a pointer on the location. Step number 3, start scanning the string from RHS in the backward direction until less than symbol is encountered. Keep a pointer on the location. Step number 4, everything that lies in the middle of greater than and less than forms the handle. Replace the handle with the head of the respective production. Step number 5, keep repeating the cycle from step 2 to step 4 until the start symbol is reached. Now we are seeing one example of operator precedence grammar and how the operator precedence works. Consider the following grammar. E produces E, capital A, capital E or ID. A produces plus or X. Now construct the operator precedence parser and parse the string ID plus ID into ID. So what are the steps we are following previous? We have to short it out and convert it. First we convert it into operator precedence grammar, because the given grammar, as we are seeing that continuously three operators are here. So first we have to put a separator or a terminal between them, and then the grammar is converted into operator precedence grammar. We convert the given grammar into operator precedence. E produces EAE, so we put a separator or terminal plus here. E produces in E into E, then we put here E, then E produces ID. Second step is the terminal symbol in the grammar are ID plus multiplication and dollar. Now how we construct the operator precedence table? On the horizontal line we put all the terminals, and on the vertical side we put all the terminals. The greater than and the less than symbol put shows the precedence of the above grammar. How can we evaluate the precedence? We can evaluate the precedence by taking it as the grammar as the plus symbol has the higher priority. ID has highest priority as we have discussed in the rule. So from plus to ID we can see ID has higher precedence. So greater than symbol is moved to ID. In plus and plus we are mostly do when the two symbol of same precedence, we always put the precedence symbol on the vertical side. Same and multiplication, when two symbol are of same precedent, we put the highest precedence to the vertical side of the symbol. Dollar always have less precedence over ID plus and asterisk. Similarly here dollar always have the less precedence. Now we are working towards the parser given string. Given string to be parser is ID plus ID multiplied by ID. We follow the following step. Step number 1, we insert dollar symbol at the both end of the string as I discussed in second slide. We insert precedence operator between the string symbol, precedence operator, less than and greater than symbol. Now we scan the parser string. First we scan ID. ID is generated by E, ID and dollar. Second ID is generated by E. So here we put E. Third ID is generated by E. So E plus E into E. Now we are left the variable and we are only taking the terminals. Then we taking terminals. Now we are seeing the high priority of X. X is scanned first and at last the plus symbol is scanned. Consider the following grammar. E produces E plus E. E produces E multiplied by E, or E produces ID. What we have to do in this? First, we have to construct operator precedence parser, then find the operator precedence function. For this, first we separate the terminals. What are the terminals in given grammar? Terminals are ID, multiplication, and plus and dollar. Operator precedence table, as I say, what are the two functions f and g? In horizontally, we have write id plus asterisk and dollar. In vertical line, we write id plus multiplication dollar. Put the precedence of given operator. id and plus high precedence is given to id. So the greater than symbol is of id side. In plus and plus, that I have already discussed, that high precedence given to the vertical line or f function line. So here we put precedence on this plus with comparing with horizontally plus. Comparing with asterisk and id, higher precedence is given to id. Comparing this id to dollar, higher precedence get by this with, then comparing this plus f function plus compare with g function, then high precedence is given to id, plus plus high precedence is given to plus, asterisk and plus high precedence is given to asterisk, dollar and plus high precedence is always given to terminals when it compared to dollar. Next we come to f asterisk to gid. Who get high precedence? High precedence, highest precedence is always given to identifier. So plus and asterisk, f asterisk get higher precedence as comparison to g plus. Here f asterisk compared to g asterisk, highest precedence always given to f side of terminal. Now come for dollar. Dollar get least precedence, so dollar has given least precedence over, dollar gets least precedence over all the operators. Now how to represent a graph for the given operator? We have first fill FID, F plus, F asterisk and F dollar. Similarly, GID, G plus, G asterisk and G dollar. Now, the longest path. How can we evaluate longest path? Longest path is that the traveling of any function with a terminal moved towards how long it gets till G dollar or F dollar. So longest path would be FID goes to G plus. When it go to G plus, it will only reach F dollar. So it is not the longest path. When FID goes to G asterisk, G asterisk goes to F plus, F plus goes to G plus, G plus goes to F dollar. It is represented as longest path of F function. See, FID goes to GX, GX goes to F plus goes to G plus, and G plus goes to F dollar. Similarly, longest path for GID. GID first go to F asterisk, F asterisk go to G asterisk, G asterisk goes to F plus F to F dollar. See the longest path we have reached with the graph representation. The result precedence function are how we get this number. These numbers are get with f function f plus f plus have gone to g plus and g dollar. F plus how many times how many arrows are going to the next function 2. Thus we have written there 2. Advantages of operator precedence parser are the implementation is very easy and simple. The parser is quite powerful for express in programming language. Disadvantages are the handling of token known to have two different precedence becomes very difficult. Only a small class of grammar can be parsed using this parser. Thank you. Stay tuned.